I'm live. Hi, it's Mel from Cold Truth. I was just going to stop in real quick after I recorded my pre-recorded episode of Sight Unseen. It will hopefully air tomorrow night. I will try to do it as a premiere, but to be honest, I'm not really sure I know how to do that. I just wanted to pop on here real quick, and since I'm all gussied up, and give some updates on uh the main man, Greno. He is due for court for his fourth petition to revoke on March 22nd. Hey, Venden Queries. I wish your name was easier. Main Slime. That's right. So he is due in court on March 22nd of this year, and we plan to attend. It will be at 11:30 a.m. in the Carroll County Courts, which is located in Delphi, Indiana. And if you have a really nice camera, I would love for you to join us. Hey, Tanya, how are you? I just thought I'd pop on here and give some old Greno updates. Kind of spur of the moment, last minute. I went ahead and pre-recorded a episode that I will be redoing from my last weekend's live. I had received a comment and I had kind of like popped off really quick, but it kept bugging me. And I was very off when I was doing the Sight Unseen episode for Charles Horvath, and his mom was in the chat. And I think it's just the nerves got to me from that was my first interaction with a family member since the Dakota Kelly case and all what I did there, which I still haven't told anybody about. But I did go ahead and put the Dakota Kelly, The Spite of My Father. I made that public again. It has been on private for quite a long time. It's kind of long. It's live, so it's kind of goes with the territory. Oh no, it was not you, Tanya, at all. It was not you. It was totally me. I got in my head and hey, Truth Sleuth, how are ya? And I just I let it get to me. I let the little OCD things about not getting this to work and not being able to do this and not being eloquent in my World Wide Web skills and YouTube digital skills. And I just let it bother me. And so, hey, Cynthia, how are you? Hope you guys are doing good this late night. Hey, Carol, hope you're well. But yeah, I just let it get into my head and just been very unhappy with it all week. And so I decided to go ahead and just redo it. And I pre-recorded it and I just finished recording it. Oh my God. That was zero. I don't know. I thought it would be easier than when I just go and record audio onto Audacity and put it on the podcast. Yeah, absolutely not. It was quite difficult. It was more difficult, and so I don't even know if what I've recorded turned out. I don't know how to edit it, so that should be fun. But I'm going to be trying to get that done between tonight and tomorrow. Good thing I got lots of sleep yesterday on the big old propofol overdose. But and not I mean, I don't take propofol. I had a colonoscopy, which, if you need one, you should get it done. It could save your life. It can save you from colon cancer. If it wasn't for mine, I would probably already be dead by now. So, yeah, get your colonoscopy done. And if you're having any issues, get it done before you turn 50 for sure, because it really can save you a lot of pain and losing parts of your intestine, which would be no fun at all. So, yeah, because no more recorded calls being broadcast. One can only dream, Truth Sleuth, one can only dream. I'm not really sure what all happened. I just know that there is no quotes of the day, and there's been no lives that I've seen on his own channel or Marvelous Marvin's. So that is excellent news, and I hope that that continues. I have heard that there is no more money added to the GoFundMe that was started for him. So that topped out at $40. Not sure what the old snake is up to, but he's been pretty quiet. So I'll be pretty quiet. Now, hey, kitty catty. Katie kitty. Kitty catty. Katie kitty. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, Carol, like, I'm allergic to most of them, and so it is just really I dread it. But I have good news. I get to go back to I was, like, gonna have to go every year, but I graduated back to the every 3 years. I haven't made it back to the 5 yet. I was at 5 from about 26. I think my first one was, like, between 26 and 28. I'm terrible with time. But I was on 5 years, and then somewhere in my, like, mid-30s, it was like, "No, you gotta come every 3 years," and then was it 2 years ago? It was like, "You have to come every year." So, yeah, it's been but this time, I get to go back to the 3 years. We'll see if well, I'm gonna make it to 3 years, hopefully. If I don't have any problems, then I will just have my regular scheduled colonoscopy. I know this is so fun to talk about. And then hopefully I will get to go to 5 years. But yeah, it's absolutely dreadful. I have to do a prep for 2 full days. I drink 2 of those jugs of Satan's liquid. Like, it's literally just so gross. I can't stand it. And, but I have to fast for at least 3 days. This time I started on Monday night because I didn't, know what day it was apparently. So I got a whole extra day of fasting in there to where yeah, so I was nice and starving by Friday. It was real fun for my family, but, anyways, enough about me and my colonoscopy. Yeah, go lightly. That sounds really familiar. I don't know. There's been a few that I've done where I have trouble. I have a lot of, like, kidney issues. And so depending on where I am with, like, the kidney, infections and stones, where my potassium level is when I do the prep, that seems to be where the allergy really lies because, that's just what I think. And I know more than the doctors. So that is my assumption. And when my kidneys are not functioning at their optimal level, and I do that, the potassium chloride, and all the potassium that is in that just sends my body into like shock because I literally just sit there. My body temperature drops, my blood pressure, my heart rate, everything drops. I am freezing cold and I just sit there and shake. And one time I was literally, it was so bad and it was summertime. And I just sat. My husband, who, he like bundled me up. I had on his like Carhartt work coat. I had on gloves and just like literally everything in the whole house. And I was still just shaking, and we didn't really know what to do, but I have a fear of the ER, so didn't want to do that. So he sat me out in a lawn chair in the driveway looking like a fool, for the sun to, like, heat me up. And it finally, like, got back to normal, but ever since then, I have to be really careful with those stupid drinks. Anyways, back on track. Gonna do better about this. March 22nd at 11:30 a.m., Carroll County Courts in Delphi, Indiana. Be there, be square. We're going to just we're not protesting. I don't want to be a part of anything weird. Like, I don't want to be a part of anything like Literally, like, if you wanna go, you just show up on your own, and we're gonna go in. It's probably gonna take 10 minutes, and then, at least for me, I'm going to be leaving. Like, we may go out to lunch, but I'm not gonna be, like, taking a tour of Delphi. That's not why I'm there. That's not why I want people to go. I want the courts to know that we take Greno staying in prison this time, in prison, we take it seriously, and that they need to do their job. So, if you are on the same if you live in Indiana and you feel the same way, I hope that you will attend with us. But this will be on his 4th petition for revocation of his probation. Why it's taking 4 petitions from his, parole officer is beyond me, and that is one of the reasons why I would like to attend. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. The undersigned probation officer represents and states to the court, number 1, that the above named Anthony Greno, hereinafter referred in this petition as the probationer, was placed on probation by the court in the above entitled cause on June 3rd, 2020, after having been found guilty of non-support of a dependent, a level 6 felony, to which he pled guilty and took a plea. Let's not forget that. So, number 2, that by the terms of the probation established herein, it was required that A, the probationer shall not leave the state of Indiana without permission from the court or probation. He did. B, within 30 days of sentencing, the probationer shall attend and complete an assessment at a mental health service provider and complete any recommended treatment. Yeah, they don't have any treatment for that. Okay. C, the probationer shall pay monthly probation user fees. D, the probationer shall pay court costs within 90 days. E, the probationer shall make weekly child support payments. Number 3, that said probationer has violated the terms of the probation established herein in that A, the probationer left the state of Indiana without permission as he was extradited from the state of Georgia on the Carroll County warrant. B, the probationer has not provided any proof of receiving any assessment from a mental health service provider. C, the probationer is currently $470 behind in probation user fees. D, the probationer has failed to pay $185 in court cost. E, the probationer has failed to make weekly child support payments. He has failed to make a payment since December 17th of 2021. Wherefore, petitioner requests that the court order a warrant and or summons issued to as to cause the probationer to be brought or to appear before the court for a hearing upon this petition, to be served upon probationer residing at Carroll County Jail. It's got a nice ring to it. I affirm under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing representations and statements are true. This is dated on February 14th of 2022. So special. By the adult probation officer. So yeah. That's what I got. So, with Greno, oh my gosh. I don't understand these things. I don't understand them. Like bots, like they literally make 0 sense to me. It stresses me out, but I don't know. Apparently Bauer Finley had something weird to say, but try to go follow that. That one is 317. On March 22nd is when his 4th petition is that we are going to be attending. He may have one on the 17th. I'm not sure. But he definitely does have a hearing on his petition to revoke that I just read on March 22nd. So at 11:30 a.m. in Carroll County Courts, which is located in Delphi, Indiana. It is downtown Delphi. And no, we're not going there. I don't want to be a part of anything like going there for any other reason than Renee Anthony Charles Greno. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Like, I'm going to drive there and oh, wow, I am at the Carroll County Courts. I'm going to be taking a little walk down to the clerk, and she has an abatement is basically like, I want to get out of paying my child support, or I want relief because, I'm in jail, or um some other excuse. But yeah, he did a motion to abate back right after he got out of jail the last time. So he had the attorney was Fouts for that. They may wind up combining. So far, they haven't charged him with any other crimes, which clearly he's committed other crimes. Like, hello. So I don't know what is going on with that. No, of course he did. True sleuth. Of course he did. I believe she is a good soul and was one of the last to believe in him. Well, that's fine, but I know what she knows, and like, that's a line that I just do not understand someone um not drawing when you are faced with, like, the truth so abruptly put in your face that there's no denying its veracity. Like, it is definitely, he is a monster. He's an absolute monster. And so knowing that um, she knows what I know, and that she's still calling him, even if it was one time, two times, I don't care. Being the petition is started in your group, and not a petition, but a GoFundMe. Like, I just don't have any time for someone that could hear something so atrocious and give that person any voice whatsoever, other than you saying "fuck you." Like, I don't. That's just my stance on it. I'll never understand it, and I don't appreciate what she did to my friends by baiting them, and I felt like, I'm glad I didn't go. Privately, just that's not okay, to what felt like, you're one night you're, oh, he's, like, I know I'm just a really nice person, da, 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 da. And then not that long after, like, literally the next night, might have been 2 nights, you're going live and he is your guest of honor on your show. um yeah, I don't understand that, and I know that you guys don't understand what the heck I'm talking about, because you probably haven't heard, like, you don't know all the stuff, and I plan on changing some of that. Hey, Lips, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Oh, really? Is everything in the world going on right now tonight? I literally have no idea. I've been sitting in this closet with my weird tapestry all night, trying to record a episode for tomorrow. So we'll see how the editing of that goes. I might have to call in some help. HCC, are you out there? No. But yeah. So yeah, yeah, there's definitely people that like think that people can change. Um, but when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And it's one thing when it's just like, oh, he did A, B, C, or D, and it was just like these little lies and the smule and weird shit like that he does, versus the domestic battery, the criminal confinement, the intimidation. He plays all of those off. He had an excuse for every single time, but they actually date back to when he was, well, I won't be able to get that record, and I probably wouldn't touch on it anyways. but it dates back to when he was a juvenile. That's when his domestic violence started, and it continues on. And so 2005, when I'm there in Carroll County, I'm going to go down to the Carroll County clerk and pick up his case file. Apparently, is it about 80 pages thick? So I should have a lot of fun with that. And with Greno, I've, just been kind of doing some lighthearted, funny, blah, blah, like here's his truth and the lie. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure that out, but I plan on getting more serious because he really is a real crime committer. Like, he is a real crime perpetrator. And someone like him, when you can literally see their pattern is so clear from the time they're a juvenile until now. I mean, that is a long ass period of time where you get to really see that swindler mentality. I mean, if you haven't watched Tinder Swindler, Dirty John, it's all the rage right now. All of these swindling grifters, con men, that angle is all the rage, it seems like, in what do you call it? Like prime time. I don't know. I don't even have prime time. What am I talking about? Like Netflix, Prime. That's what I was trying to talk about. And what's that other one? Peacock. I like Peacock. Yeah, The Ugly Truth. That might actually be the title. Thank you for that. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, The Ugly Truth of Greno. And he really is a monster. And I'm hoping that I can't just start, because I have some of the ones that are in the middle as far as his domestic abuse goes, but I don't have that 2005. And I really hate to leave my house. But in order to get the case file, it's going to cost me like 80, probably $90, 86, I think is what she quoted me, to have it mailed to my house. So I figured, well, if I'm going to go to his hearing, and even if it's my cell phone sticking a camera in his face, then again, like, what do you guys think? I kind of feel like he might like it. Maybe we should just go and not record anything. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like read the room, and if it appears that he is getting a kick out of or enjoying the camera time, because we know how he can spin those. He's done that several different times where he edits out the parts where they're telling the truth about him. The big expose that was done on him by a wonderful Liz Perkins. I think her name is Liz Perkins. And yeah, and he still used that footage for his benefit. He just like cut out, and it was so obvious that he cut it out, but like whatever. But this is the more serious parts about him, and the domestic abuse, his pattern of coercive control, really understanding and getting some tip lines and some help, and understanding manipulation, understanding coercive control, understanding some of those terms, the love bombing, the gaslighting, the just a lot of those terms that go into what happens when you try to get away from someone who is controlling. Yeah, he is dangerous, Truth Sleuth. You're absolutely right. He's dangerous, and it's not okay. It's not okay that he keeps perpetuating that on the true crime world, that he keeps perpetuating that on women of the world. Literally, no one is safe. Like, hide your kids and your wife, hide everyone. As soon as he gets out, he's not going to change. He'll get out and he'll look like he's changed, just so you guys know what's coming. Like, once he does get out, he will appear to be he'll start going on everybody's channels, and he'll be, like, so meek and demure and apologetic, and I just want you guys to know that I am not a psychic. I am just, using my deductive reasoning to let you know that that's what the monster's gonna do. He did it before, he'll do it again. Why? Because it works. He does it because it works. And so, yeah, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. He won't know what you're doing it for, though, and I assume by now he'll think it won't be good. You one would hope, Carol, one would hope. Yes. Vid Inquiries. I hope I'm saying your name right. I feel like I'm botching it every time. Their Tinder Swindler is literally a must-see. Oh, there's another one. Oh. I gotta hold on. Oh, man, what is it called? I believe it's on Prime. One of the episodes is called, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me. Ivy Rose, are you up? Lake Crime? HCC? Hoosier Cold Cases was just telling us about it. Oh man, and I watched them all again. I mean, really quick, like, but they're named things weird. The first one was about a woman that is a grifter. The girlfriend's mother must be frantic. I saw her post. Yeah. Um, I think she's just really wanting her life back. I mean, she's just really wanting her daughter's life back, you know? That's what he does. He just whatever time you're with him, that time is just now just, like, gone. Hey, crime. What is the episodes that we have been watching that HCC told us about? The new ones. The one was, like, something to do with the first one was, like, mommy dear, like, the woman that was swindling old people. Basically, she was, like, killing them and stealing their money, and then each episode was, like, on a new con man. It's gonna bug me. Oh, was she? Yeah, I literally didn't. Hey, you there? You are? Hey, Bantry. What is those episodes of, what you just had us watching them. They're the first one was, and like each episode was a different swindler. What's a con man, con woman. Yeah, the landlord lady. And then there was the worst roommates ever. Yes. Worst roommates ever. It's on Netflix, I think. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Hey! The oldest one's back home. So I had to put some cords, shut the door so she can be in her room. Apparently we locked her out, so there was that. Yeah, same. I know crime. I couldn't remember the name. The senior serial killer is pretty crazy. Yeah, they were all pretty crazy. But they were all pretty reminiscent of our main monster, Greno, and so that was kind of where I was going with this whole thing, was like just kind of giving that update on him and hoping to get everybody to Carroll County. We are either going to record him, take his picture, and not release it. We're just going to kind of have to read the room. If he seems like he's going to be able to enjoy it and spin it when he gets out to use in his favor somehow, then I don't want to use it. But if he is embarrassed, which I highly doubt, because let's remember, he's a psychopath. So if he's seeming to enjoy it, which is my guess that he will, then I just want us to all be there really for the main purpose of letting the judge and the prosecutor's office know that there's at least some people from our little corner of YouTube, and hopefully farther away in other states, like a certain news reporter that did an expose on him before. Hopefully she would want to do like a second little series of what he's been up to since her last one. So hopefully we can get a little good group of people to go and just kind of let them know, like, hey, we're watching. We're not putting up with this, like him getting, just because it is within the judge's power just to put him right back on probation. If you really read the fine print of his plea agreement, you can see that for yourself. So just kind of all depends on what's going on. Her cover was solid. She seemed like a caring person, but she was murdering people. Like, yeah, just ruthless. And then that swindler who was basically running a marathon, but never actually really running a marathon. He was just kind of like all over. And he got all of these people, like a whole entire country, to like back him financially and put him all over the place, because there's usually like a few different reasons why they do what they do. One is usually money, and the other one is fame, which definitely matches our main monster, Greno. Well, that if the judge, it says in the plea agreement that if he violates his probation, which he's violated it 4 times now on 4 different petitions. Inside of each petition is a bunch of different ones. The Palestinian, yes, the Palestinian, that one was crazy. And then he tried to kill someone at the end because he was going to basically out him. And so they were like he tried to kill that guy, and the guy just happened to live, but he totally would have killed him. Anything to keep the grift going. And then that 4th story about the guy who knew all the laws, and oh my gosh, yes, enough to not be able to get kicked out. That's Greno. He does that. He has done that to everybody he's ever lived with. Like, literally, he knows the laws, and so he knows, like, what I don't even know what they are. But, yeah, he knows, like, don't let him stay with you. I think it's 30 days, but don't let him stay with you beyond that, because he now lives with you, and that is his permanent place of residence, and you have to go through the courts in order to remove him, and he doesn't care to live in a hostile environment at all. Doesn't care. Especially if you're a woman. Now, if you're a man, he has had the exception in the past. I will say that. He fled community corrections in the past, so doubt they will give him that. One would think, true sleuth, one would think. But yeah, that, definitely go check that out on Netflix. I had it all wrong. It's Netflix, and it's The Worst Roommate Ever. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good stuff. So what's everybody been up to? Are you enjoying my stories? Is anybody even reading them? What are they about? My friend Ivy, she's always telling me that I need to, like, write down all of these crazy shit that I, um, just kinda falls my way in life, and I do have a pretty good sense of humor, so maybe not in the moment, but after, I can usually laugh about stuff pretty well. In the moment, it was, not very funny, even though she was so outrageous that it was. But yeah, so I was just trying to think of ways that I can stay connected because I like to write. Um, I don't really like getting ready every day. You know. So going live and not getting ready, it's not a good look. And then just like having like a talking eyeball, I don't know, it just bothers me. It's like an OCD thing. But karaoke is fun. Oh, no, that is not fun. I don't think I could do it. You can come on up and host if you would like to spin some smules. Yeah, look back and laugh, Carol. Carol, that's right. Yep. But yeah, gets pretty crazy. Gets pretty crazy. I uh I think there may be one, maybe two more installments of the post write-ups, and it should be finished. But it's been, what is that word? Like, I'm gonna screw it up because I can just see it in my head, but I don't know how to say it. Cathartic to write it down and kind of talk about like what all happened. So if you would like to come on and sing Zippity Doo Dah, I will send you a link right now, and I will toast to that. Oh, come on. Yeah, this week's been pretty good. Well, actually, Carol, I don't know if you know this about Bantry, but he has a beautiful voice, so it would really be maybe like a redemption of the Smules. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. You almost got me to sing, and I cannot sing at all. I almost sang that out. Nope. You will do it with him? Oh my gosh. It's too much. Well, Carol, I did a whole episode on his simuling lack of skills. I know, right? I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, and then the whole, just all of the Disney. Like, I don't know if, like, in the moment when I was literally crying, I was laughing so hard. It was funny. It was, just a complete oxymoron of entertainment, of horrible entertainment. But then, like, the next day, it kinda hit me of, "Damn, this is super creepy. This is creepy." It's creepy that he's on Smule doing a bunch of Disney songs and, like, kids songs, and he's friends with a bunch of women. Like, that's fucking weird. And, why? Why is he on there? I understand why he was on there well, it's probably been 4 or 5 months now, to where he was trying to do his grift, like, I understand that. But he recorded, like, 46, 5, 46, 47, 46 or 7 different dual smules with not a single dude, no one looking anywhere near old enough. And then there's Greno, a 31-year-old man to 36-year-old man doing smules with girls. Like, I don't know. There's something about it that's creepy. And I hope they take a look at it and see if there's anything more to it, especially just like with Delphi, everything's been popping off about Kagan. Apparently his name's Kagan, which can't even get any more ridiculous than that name. But that big guy is popping off, and so it's like, what if, you know? I don't know. He just seems more like I cannot picture that big old guy being involved. He's got black hair. Like he is Native American, or at least has some DNA of Native American. He looks nothing like what has been described, what hasn't changed about the sketch of the murder of Abby and Libby. There's just a lot that it just doesn't make any sense. And that's just my opinion, like they were like butts. So take it for what it's worth. I just don't. I have a 50% chance of being right, 50% chance of being wrong. I do think that it has something to do with social media. I just don't think it has anything to do with those two, the dad and the son. I really don't. But it kind of got me thinking of like, when I was thinking about those mules of like, wow, of reading that affidavit and, well, really Ivy Rose reading a lot of the affidavit to us. It just made me think, like what if the murder of Abby and Libby was linked to their social media accounts? And then what if someone like Kegan Anthony Klein was the lure? And then what if there's someone that is, the person that they actually meet, and those two are working together? I don't know. It just, there's just something about it that rings true with the new information, and there's something about it that just doesn't. And I cannot put my finger on it. It's been really bugging me. And then the whole murder sheet thing, how puzzling. Like, what? What is going on? Hey, CD, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, I have two. I have family that live between obviously like Avon and Brookston, Indiana, and kind of all along that 421 road there, 39, 421, 25. And I'd heard things from some of my family that live, Flora, Brookston area, that led me to believe that it was linked to social media. Again, though, like, why should you believe any information that's coming from me and mine, like my family? For by the time it gets to me, it's already fourth hand information. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, third hand information. So that by the time it gets to you, it's fourth hand information. And at what point do you draw the line, of like what you believe, even with the most trustworthy of source, like, and I know my family, and I know that, There's parts about it that makes me, trust their information, and there's parts about them that I have to be like, "Yeah, I don't know," you know? And they're my own family, so you have to be able to be, um to put the information that it's all subjective to how you know it. Good. I believe 100% Kagan at the least knows BG. I do believe more so that they were both there and Daddy Klein being the killer. Just my opinion, but always felt catfish. And there's 80 names linked to Anthony Shots photos. Oh, not know that. Doing great. Same stuff as usual. Kagan's Dropbox, Pandora's Box. Also the CSAM getting locked up. I don't know what that stands for. The affidavit says a prior case basically led to the arrest of the other person who was the prior case, Kagan. I have no idea what you're talking about. I try to stay up on docs or not on DocSwap, I just read that word, but on the Delphi case. And it just seems like it's a daily, you got to put in a couple hours of daily work if you want to stay up on the Delphi, which at some point you just kind of got to be like, well, if it's not on the news, I'm going to have to kind of take a step back because it can be all consuming. And then you find your mind, just one of my favorite quotes, and it's so dumb. It's from a Aaron Tippin song, so I don't even know who the actual lyrical writer is, but it's like, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. You got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. Never compromise what's right. That's what's right. Yeah, anyways, but it's that main, I even got it tattooed on myself, Opsos Facilio. It's basically, you got to know what you stand for, and then, or if you don't, you're going to fall for anything. And like with Delphi, it's kind of this Pandora's box of like over information to where it really muddies the waters. And I think a big part of, I was really hoping to work with, actually, I don't know if it's you, maybe CD, I think. Let me know. With Unroyal, a friend of his named CD, but that, like, your YouTube name isn't what he had sent me that we would be going live with, and then a guy friend of his that we were gonna do like a kind of a deconstructing Delphi of the lies that Anthony Greno has told throughout the case. And once you can kind of peel that onion away and peel off all of the things that he said that muddied the water of the Delphi case, at least maybe something would be a little bit more clear once we know, okay, Greno said it. So we got to really kind of like zero in and like, let's look at that information again. And why do we know what we know? Why do we think we know what we know? Where did we hear it? Do we know where we heard it? Do we just believe it because of, the Mandela effect? That's happened to me quite a few times. Okay, so I think it was you. Yeah, I think that it was going to be me, you, Unroyal, and then one other guy that I don't remember his name. But we were going to do kind of a Delphi episode for the 5-year anniversary, and we just never got to do it. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, like I spend so much. I prefer it. I prefer to do the digging instead of the going live, like this Charles Horvath case, man. Like, there's just so much. There's so much there that you're like, man, I wish I was 5 people so that I could like really dig in and look through all of these missing, like more so the unidentified. But while you're there, you might as well take a look at the missing, and try to. There's so many people that are just unidentified that they actually have their missing case file in the same, within the same RCMP, but sometimes it takes putting those together to really find that person. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm down. I'm not sure. It'll probably be at least a few weeks. Um, yeah, they really can. They can consume you, and it's hard bouncing from case to case. I am staying with Delphi until an arrest. Wow. Then I will branch out. I have a few unsolved that I'm compiling data on. Wow, you're gonna be. I hope that. Oh man, I sound really super pessimist. Um, yeah, it's not good for my like mental health. I think for me, Delphi is just like it's too close, and so if it feels too close for me, man, it just makes me really hurt and like sad for Abby and Libby's mom and dad because this happened to them. And I've heard them talk about, what if this was your child? Have so many parents out there that their children have been murdered, and they're just like, like, what if this was your child? How would you feel right now if this was your child? And what would you be willing to do? What would you be willing to, I'd be willing to give up my life, to save my child. So a lot of times when you think about not just Delphi, but every case of like, wow, like what it must be like to be the mother of Charles Horvath, what it must be like to be the mother of Abby Williams, of Libby German, of, Shannon Polk, of Nakota Kelly, Ray Hanish, Nicole Bowen. There's so many different victims out there, and like what it must be like to be that mother. Like I don't ever want to be in their shoes. And I feel like a lot of times when, at least for me, when I hyper focus in on a case, I lose that perspective. Like it literally just, I lose that thought process of making sure I keep that first in my mind of what it must be like for them. If this is how this makes me feel, then how much greater the pain and the grief and the anger and the hurt be for them. And like when I notice myself getting hyper focused on something, I kind of forget to be human. I noticed it with Charles. Like I get so excited of like, like what are the possibilities of like, okay, they didn't have his DNA until 2014. He went missing in 1989. Like, what if they have found him? There's so many foots that keep washing up somewhere along where the Okanagan Lake would drain. And so to me, it's like, what if it's as simple as putting the DNA sample that they do have now of Charles with the unidentified remains that they've had between 1989 and 2014 that they never tested it against, different things like that. Like I love that. Like, what do you call it? I guess like, I don't want to call it chase, but just of putting a pattern together of just data straight, just like data entry, and then seeing what kind of falls out from that. So I'm looking into inspired by Gray Hughes with the newspaper articles. Love Gray Hughes. Love the newspaper articles. Got my free cup right now. It's pretty cool. I have decided that I have this like new thing with tumblers. It's it started at Christmas time. I went to this weird, I don't even know what you call it, like an indoor flea market, and they had all of these tumblers where they've put, they look like a can of like WD-40 or some kind of like Windex or just like weird household items. Like, I wanted to have all of them. So when I saw this cup, I was like, oh, I have to have it. With the lemon water, drop some pounds. Well, you would not want what I'm drinking tonight. I have some Tito's. I do have Propel in here. And then that didn't taste very good. So then I just kind of started dumping shit. So I have some pineapple juice, some Propel water, grape flavored, some Tito's, and about a half a foil bag of fruit punch from my kids, like fruit punches. Little, poke the straw into the foil. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't really have enough Tito's in it, I must say, because I've been drinking this since, well, looks like I'm at the bottom. Yeah, I think I came in here at like 11. So 2 hours for about an ounce and a half of Tito's. That's not really going to cut it. Tito's is vodka. Vodka, Carol, vodka. How do you like my accent? I usually only pull that out when I'm really drunk. But anyways, I just wanted to get that little Greno update. And so it has been created. But I am creating a safe place. Just because I wanted to say that word. Not really. It's not really a safe place. I just, like, for some reason that just wanted to come out of my mouth. A Facebook group for anyone that has been like a victim of Renee Anthony Charles Greno, that you can come and you can tell your own story. You can reach out to me from there. You can reach out to, hopefully there's going to be another mod in there at some point. And it's hidden and there's nobody that's like joined it but me really right now. So I'm just kind of adding information because I kind of want it to be, I don't know how to do a website. I just honestly, I just don't know how. So I thought I would create like a Facebook group. It will be public eventually because, it's information that everybody needs to have. But there's always going to be, if you can message someone privately, but if people just to tell their truth. Ugh, I'm sorry. I got to get this freaking hair, like an eyelash on my, driving me nuts. Anyways, Australia. Oh my gosh, Carol. There's a guy that was working at the gas station and he was from Australia. And, it's just stereotypical, I guess. But he was like, basically, "Good day, mate." I was leaving the gas station. And I totally tried to do his accent back to him. And then, like, I'm literally out the door. It's in the morning before I even realize, like, what I've done. I was like, oh my gosh, did I really just do that? Did I really just kind of like, good day, mate? Back at the gas station attendant. But Yeah, like, when anyone has an accent, I find myself just really drawn to wanting to copy it. But I'm gonna pop off here. I just wanted to, come in and let you know what the update is with the green slime. We've got about 55 names for him. We should try to list all of those in the group too. And hopefully the group will kind of go live like simultaneously as when the March 22nd court date is upon us. And again, if you live in Indiana, even if you don't, if you want to drive here, feel like it's going to be worth it, just to kind of show that the courts that, you know, hey, there's people here. We're watching. We're watching you. We want him to go to prison because that's exactly where he belongs. And when I'm there, I'm going to be picking up a 80 pages of a case file from 2005. And then once I have that, other than his what he got when he was a juvenile, at least he says he went to White's twice, which is the same place that Garrett Kurtz was. Garrett Kurtz went to White's as well. It's in Wabash, Indiana. And Greno says that he went there 2 times. So it is for juveniles. And so I find that very kind of interesting that, you know, when I researched White's as it pertained to Garrett Kenneth Kurtz, yeah, it just kind of seemed like a breeding ground for psychopaths, to be in all honesty. So that kind of does make sense, and just kind of more so makes me interested in what the hell got on at that place. Someone said that Greno told a cellmate something. I wasn't paying 100% attention. My 18-month-old was flipping out for his bottle. Aw. I'm going to go get to see I think, yeah, he's close to 18 months. My nephew tomorrow. I'm so excited. Every time I get to see him, I'm just like, I can't wait. We were paying attention to what the cellmate said. Ooh. Yeah, Carol. Do share. Three is enough. Yeah. I have 2, but they're grown almost. One in college and one in junior in high school, though. The chasing the little ones around now is like, oh, I can't wait to do it. So for my nephews. Said something like Ashley said they were choked out and put in water before going to, yeah. Oh, well, sorry, Sonny, but not sorry. Girl, you just making shit up. That's the truth. If you're going to believe everything that Open Secret says and just kind of popping off about like it's called a confirmation bias, and you just can't really say that things are true, and then the way that you treated Cher and Ginger when they were in your chat, like I really just don't respect that at all. And they definitely know more than you do about their son that was murdered by Garrett Kurtz. And they definitely know more than you do about their niece that was murdered by Garrett Kurtz. And to question that is just flat out rude. I think I lost connection there for a minute. With the Gary Kurtz of like, it's the same stories that are regurgitated with different players. Like, I kept having to put them to rest, and like, I put the truth out on my podcast, and like, if you want to hear like the actual affidavits and where Ashley Garth and how the all of Delphi doesn't pertain to them or does pertain to them. I've said all that I want to say about it on my podcast that's not on, well, it actually, most of it I think is on YouTube now, but it's also on like Spotify and Spreaker. It's, yeah. Cher and Roxy are amazing, and Ray's mom, and to kind of like disrespect them, oof, that's tough. And then for, you know, I don't have, I just don't have, yeah, no, I'm just gonna be quiet about that. Yeah, stick to the facts known. Yeah, it's just, like, if she wanted to, to educate herself, then, I've tried before, and if she wanted to go and listen to what I had to say and to see if she can find any affidavits and facts like I did that would pertain to what I talked about, um, then she would go and do that. But I don't think that she wants to. I think that because it doesn't fit with her scenario. So when you're not willing to look at everything, then you risk pigeonholing yourself into this confirmation bias. And if you're not willing to not look at everything, so it's just like a dichotomy of double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword, because you have to be open, but you also can't just be like wild. Oh, fucking A, like, what do you do? Yeah, Cher, I forget how you spell Shar. I spent an hour with her. My heart aches for that family. Justice wasn't served. Yeah, I just feel really bad for them because, like, there's not, and I understand, and like, they're fine with it. Cher has mentioned it to me before of like, well, be it not for Delphi, Ray probably wouldn't be getting any attention whatsoever. And that breaks my heart that she has to be that realistic that she knows that that's the truth, and it's like, how can someone do both? And in a respectful way, because I think people have done it before where they show the respect to Ray that he deserves, and they show the respect to Abby and Libby that they deserve, and they show the respect to Nicole Bowen that she deserves, and then like you're able to kind of keep them all in their place. Whether, that is one thing about Open Secrets, even though I literally can't stand her, right? That's gonna be honest. But I do respect that she started with Delphi, and then like she never really, that was her center, and that's where she always kept saying, this is what I'm centered on. This is where I'm centered, I'll talk to you or whatever. She definitely did put that forward into the YouTube world, and so I do respect that one little thing that she did. Um, I do wish that she had given Cher and Roxy that information, because it doesn't look like Robert Guy is doing shit, and so they cannot subpoena that record, that recording from um oh gosh, Newton County Jail. Only, a a prosecutor can ask a judge for that. And so, since they couldn't do that, if she has it recorded, it would have been really awesome if they would have given, if she would have given that to them before she went away. So, Yeah, that's what she said, but that's not really it's not really a thing. Like, um, just because you call and you don't get a call back, like, she seemed to be under the impression that she was really important and, like, that they knew who she was and that if they wanted to hear it, I mean, that's what she told me countless times, if they would just go to her YouTube. Well, it wasn't on there. So, and then when you, like, edit something, you make it not admissible in court anyways, and so if she had an unedited version of that backed up somewhere. That was kinda what, we were really wanting for a private investigator to have for Ray Hanish's case. Yeah, I think so, and it's just, like, hard for me because I'm pretty new. I'm not new to, like, real crime or, like, even true crime, but I'm pretty new to consistently being on YouTube. Um, it's difficult. It's difficult to navigate, I'll tell you that. No, she did not. She definitely did not. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And now, like, no idea where it even does it even exist anymore. Has it been recorded over at this point? Like the woulda, shoulda, couldas of that is just kind of like, ugh. I tried. Like, I mean, I was a pest, and I just never got anywhere. And it kind of is just like, okay, well, I do believe her that she had it. And I do believe her that she was having trouble trying because everything she did was kind of basically on her cell phone, and so I know that you can only send, like, I don't think it's even more than, like, 45 seconds of something on your cell phone to, like, another cell phone or whatever, or an email. So she was trying to, like, break, down, like, quite a large file into sendable segments because she didn't know how to do it any other way. And I think she just got, like, really frustrated and was just basically like, instead of trying to figure it out and make sure you got the information, like, when you're doing this kind of thing, like, you have to always keep in mind, like, your greater responsibility, it's to it's to yourself, like, I don't know. I just I can't, ah, you know, I'm just gonna try to shut up. I'm not good at it, so I should probably just move right on along. Hey, Gray, how are you? Would she like something in her commissary for info? Hmm. Carol, Carol. That's a good one, girl. That's a good one. She should have sent it in anyway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, I don't be stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was just going live talking about old Greno's fourth petition to revoke, and he's got a hearing coming up here in March 22nd at 11:30. We're planning on going just just to be a viewer of the courts. It is nothing more, nothing less. There's not going to be. I don't want to be a part of any kind of like weird impromptu Yeah, it probably is. It's 1:30. He's probably finishing up his show. I don't wanna be a part of any kinda weird impromptu, like, um, stampede or whatever you call those things where you hold signs and, like, march. I don't wanna be a part of anything like that. I just wanna go. I just wanna let him know that we're there, read the room, see if he is if someone wants to record him. Like, that is awesome. But if he seems to be like, "Hey," getting all Greno like for the camera, then that would tell us, yeah, no, like, we're not gonna be, giving him any airtime to where he can get out and manipulate the footage and, like, use it for his benefit. So, I really think the key is gonna be going and, like, not videotaping him, not trying to get an interview, not trying to, um do anything of the such, just going and silently being there because you can't talk while you're in court, and, yeah, just letting them know that we're here, and there's people that are, really wanting you to do your job this time, like, put him no more plea deals, no more, don't do what the judge has the power to do. How do I fix the light? Do you guys see that? Like, watch it. Comes in and out. Yeah, I am not gonna be paying any more Smeals. Actually, I'm getting ready to get off of here. It's a karaoke hour. Can karaoke on over to how about for you, CD? Would you like to host some karaoke? You go for it. Miniquaries? You can host the hat. What does that say? Have a hat to position as he looks at a camera. Oh my god, right? So I feel like with him, he will love that. He would just absolutely love it if someone has a camera there in his face. And so to go there and not, I will have that memory locked in here forever. And it will be absolutely priceless. But I have already been on here longer than I planned, and I'm going to hop off some 2 o'clock in the morning. And I need to kind of go to bed. So I hope you guys all have a good night, and I will chat at you later. Have a good one.